Wise in black and white, there haven't been any further disruptions since that week. Of course, that's what I thought the week before that, and Shizune and Misha's sudden newfound clarity had left me feeling a little lost and envious. I thought there was no way I could rest easy at the time. Unfortunately, nothing came of my worries. Then before I knew it, there was enough to deal with in school that I even managed to put them off my mind. And still everything was fine. I was wrong. I'd seen Shizune and Misha's carefully hidden vulnerabilities, but they were still strong. Now we're going to be graduating soon. I've grown so comfortable that it kind of crept up on me. When it did, I felt sad and didn't want to think about it. So I didn't, not until recently. About a week ago, I started making a list of people I thought I should say goodbye to before graduation. First rule I laid out for myself was that I would not try to write them down in any kind of special order, like least important to most important. Somehow I ended up like that anyway, even though it also ended up being a shorter list than I expected it to be. Kenji is somewhere in the middle. They said I would have to graduate eventually. Well, I showed them. I've lived here rent-free for more than long enough. If you take into account the rising cost of land, I think you should say I've won in the end. Oh, you know what? I did win. History will acknowledge me as a victor. The victor of what? I managed to stay outside and slip through the cracks. I beat the system. Right that way, it sounds like you just ran away from the system. Well, that's the whole point, isn't it? It's just like freaking housing prices are ridiculous and all that as well, isn't it? Sometimes running is the greatest form of victory, like in the Olympics. I'm too tired to argue with him. Who's he kidding? Everyone knows the shot put is our best Olympics event in any case. So what you're basically saying is you won't miss it. Miss what? School, dummy. No, I told you, this place is too filled with feminists. It's beyond saying, but at least I'll be able to... saving, I mean. Get out before it reaches critical mass. I'll only come back years later when they build a statue to honor me. Do they do the 10-year later reunion thing here? How would I know that? Probably. Anyway, I have to start packing now. Take care of yourself, man. You should have packed a week ago like I did. Not that I had much to pack. That's not how it goes. You're supposed to do everything at the last minute. Men are better at doing everything at the last minute. Last minute can have more productivity than, like, the entire week before it. It's how we feel. Now keep shit fair. You'll never understand our manly ways. You take care of yourself, too. Is Hisao some kind of alien creature that actually studies and not at the last second? With a salute, he shoots backwards through the door, slamming it shut behind him hard enough that the entire dorm probably heard it. I've noticed that a lot of people slam doors here. Maybe it's a local thing. Take care of myself. It's the first time I've heard him say it. Usually ends our conversation with something like, see ya, I'll pay you back later, man. Well, he was a little annoying sometimes, but I'll miss him. I cross him off my list mentally. The list is very short now, and I once again discard the notion of going through it in any kind of order. Like I said, I never had that intention. So I go back to look for Shizune and Misha. I can only think of one place they could be. The student council room, of course. What about everyone else, Hisao? I mean, you haven't interacted with them in forever, but still. Turn the corner, I almost bump into a small group of students. For a second, a bitter feeling flashes through me. And for all I know, that could have been fatal. And you know, he still hasn't freaking told her about his condition. What the fuck, man? I don't think he has, anyway. It's a new student council, there aren't a lot of them, but a lot more than 3, which is good, since it means there's enough of them so they can each have their own title. It would have been cool if I could have had a little desk plaque with my name and title on it. I don't think I do that now, or ever did, unfortunately. The new student council surrounds me while I'm thinking. If anyone were looking at this from afar, it would be a pretty sinister sight. Maybe they've come to finally get back on me for calling them the new student council all those times. I was just translating for Shizune, but I guess I should have been less lazy and more tactful. I regret nothing! I find myself being thanked for everything I've done. I'm being thanked. This should make me happy, considering how often I would think to myself that being in the student council is a completely thankless job. It does make me happy, but I can't enjoy it fully. I wonder how things would have turned out if our student council had grown as large as the one that's set to replace us. Even though they've only got 2 or 3 other members, it's enough that they have set roles, not like us, where Shizune seemed to be the president, but that was it. Leaving the student council thanking me gives me a strange feeling. It's like coming back home and seeing that a tree you nurtured years before was grown. I feel like I didn't nurture that tree enough. I wonder what more I could have done. It would likely make Shizune furious that I would feel distant from what I did in the student council this way, or that I'd imply I didn't do enough. It's true, I was only following her. So in a way, I also feel like I'm viewing that same tree from far away, as if I'm seeing it from the window of a train as it passes by. I indulged in these thoughts for too long. When I snap out of it, I realize that I'm still standing there, surrounded by the new student council. I do the only thing I can do and apologize for zoning out, then thank them back. When they walk away, I enter the student council room, which looks a lot messier, but seems to have gained a computer. It makes sense. I recall hearing one of the clipboard girls talk about her plans to use the computer to make all the boring data entry Shizune does more tolerable. I can't remember which one said it though. Io seems to be the more ambitious one, but then again, Kiriko appears more serious. Well, it doesn't matter now. I mean, they both appeared on the screen at the same time, so you couldn't tell who was who. I'm not alone in the room, but instead of finding Shizune here like I expected, it's just Misha. She's sitting on Shizune's desk, like Shizune herself often does, swinging her legs back and forth. When her eyes meet, she hops off and unexpectedly poses like a superhero. Hi, Hichan! I'm surprised to see you here! What are you doing? You first! I was looking for Shizune. Me too, I thought you would be here, but I got Hichan instead. Gee, thanks. Haha, well, this is good, really, I would have talked to you anyway. About what? Well, I take the time to glance around the room a little more. I see hot plates, they are really living high. I want to say sorry, of course, for all the trouble I made for you and Chi-chan. Don't call it trouble. Right. Don't apologize to Shizune. right, but that isn't why I'm here, Hichan. I wouldn't apologize to Shi-chan. Since you're here, I want to ask you a question. Hichan, what do you think it would take for Hichan to be happy? Well, domination, obviously. Even though you're joking, Hichan. No, even if she could, it wouldn't make Shi-chan happy, only for a little while. Hichan, have you ever heard of artists who tear up their paintings as soon as they finish them? Such people really exist in the world, you know? I remember reading a list about that very thing. I remembered it all of a sudden. It's just like Shi-chan, now that I think about it. Whenever Shi-chan sets up a challenge for herself and completes it, she acts like her skills have no meaning anymore. I wonder, is it because she can't create anything permanent? It's just like those artists and how they want to create a piece of art to leave behind. Really great one, but can't do it. It's really obvious when I look back at it, but I didn't see it before. Now I'm scared. I wonder if Shi-chan will ever be happy. No, I don't think so. Not about her being happy. I think you're wrong. Shizune is actually happy more often than I thought. I think it's actually kind of amazing. Usually people don't think about that kind of stuff until they're middle-aged or dying. Then they think, I want to leave something behind, or I want to be remembered. Like me. Only I skipped ahead a little. My life was short and seemed even shorter after my heart attack. I didn't think about what I was leaving behind, because I very quickly thought there was nothing, almost nothing I was leaving behind. So all that was left was for me to stew in my own bitterness. Shizune already wants to leave her mark somewhere, but she wants to do it by helping people. That's why celebrations are so important to her. She wants to be a philanthropist. I think it's the best way to live, living on by what you give to others. Even if it's for a selfish reason, that's okay too. Shune's already happy because if something goes well, there will always be someone else to see it and remember it. That's what makes her happy. Misha sighs, arms stiff at her sides, hands tapping the air softly. Before, I still thought, I might be able to make Shizune happy, and I was in a good place to do it before. Since I was an interpreter, I could always be with her, maybe. And I thought I would do it by becoming like Shi-chan's shadow. I kept trying even when she rejected me. I felt like I was stuck and I couldn't do anything but watch Shi-chan's back getting smaller while she kept going. I was scared even though I should have just accepted it. It's hard, maybe I could have at least understood Shi-chan. But it looks like I was completely wrong after all. I didn't even know that or think about it. Shi-chan would call it a complete loss. Okay, I'm done. That's it, Hichan. But since you're the one who knows Shi-chan best of all, you can't make her cry, or I'll be angry. I'm going to go overseas after this. I even have letters of recommendations, or I don't think I would be able to normally. Maybe I'll study and become a sign language teacher over there. Who knows? That means you have to look after Shi-chan, okay? Misha's smile is as honest as ever, but she's obviously changed. The look in her eyes is that of a much more attentive girl. It seems to be true that hardship builds wisdom. It reminds me of the look in Shizune's eyes. I wonder what Shizune might have been through to have become who she is. I can take a guess, or maybe she was always like that. I want to see her even more, and suggest to Misha that we should look for her together. You know, this route's probably friggin' longer than Rin's route at this point. Of course, it's just a pretext to spend more time with a friend. It's strange how it hasn't been long since we last hung out together, the three of us in the span of a routine student council day, yet it seems like it was long ago. Thinking about the future can put that kind of lens over the past. Speaking of lenses, outside Yuka is standing around fiddling with a tiny modern-looking camera in her hands. Wait. Oh yeah, did she say she was into photography? Or was it... I don't know, I can't remember, it's been so long. I don't know, well whatever, it would be unnoticeable if it weren't metallic enough to reflect the sunlight. Misha calls out to her. I thought we were supposed to be looking for Shizune. Hi, hi! What are you doing? I'm just taking photos of everyone. That's obvious. Well, why didn't you do it in all the other routes then? Awkward, Misha. I'll never forget how you taught me that someone can hold so many secrets and still have a massive lack of tact. Where's my photo? You want a copy? I don't know. Well, only if you promise to keep it a secret, or else everyone will want one too. That happened to me in elementary school, only it was with candy. Okay, I'll take a photo of you now then. Ah, wait, I'm not ready. I was just kidding. Ichan, make a peace sign. I'm not doing that. Gonna do that. The camera flashes. The flash goes off, blinding me. Yuka shields herself behind it, letting out a motor of frustration. You're not supposed to turn the flash on outdoors. She starts apologizing unnecessarily and then quietly slips away. Ah, wait! Yes? Did you see Shi-chan around here? Yes, in front of the gate. Thanks. I can barely get it out before I have to start following behind Misha. Fortunately not for very long. The gate is barely a minute's walk from here. Even that can be tiring for me sometimes. If she sees Shizune with the student council, you're probably thanking her too. As soon as she sees us, she shoos them away, which is very easy, since I doubt any of them can understand sign language or use it, so they're not too sad about leaving. Which in turn makes me wonder why they would thank her about someone who can, but it's support that counts. Misha immediately hugs Shizune and then leans against the gate next to her. I, on the other hand, decide to hang back a little and let them talk. After all, Misha wanted to talk to Shizune this whole time. I can wait. I even turn away so I don't eavesdrop on their conversation. End up losing track of time. When I look at my watch, it's already been 10 minutes. I wonder if they're done and turn around to find them behind me. What are you thinking about? Boring philosophical things that I don't want to talk about. Don't worry, I'm not thinking about it too hard. Good, getting philosophical at a time like this would be the worst thing you could do. Yeah, I just want to stand here for a bit. It's relaxing. It was a busy week. Not really, not for me. I know that they must have been busy, but I think I know what I want to do now, and when it hit me, I didn't feel particularly fired up or anxious. It is the opposite. I feel at peace for the first time in a long time, and I want to savor that feeling a little more. I think that I want to teach here. Oh, he's actually come up with an actual idea for what to do? As soon as I thought this, a long, winding road appeared in my mind. An uncertain road that leads back here. I wonder if I'll be able to meet someone in the future like me. Someone filled with bitterness. Oh, don't worry, man. There are plenty of people filled with bitterness. Heck, I'm one of them. I don't come across that way usually, but I have a very... I've said it already a number of times in this pod. Very pessimistic, cynical, but, you know, with the occasional ray of sunshine in the form of optimism. But I tend to have this kind of, like, whenever it's just like, I don't know, it's like, if you fail at something, it's just like, in my mind it's like, oh, if at first you don't succeed, then fuck it, don't try again. Just like, lacks the optimism, just like, you try again, you pursue it. Well, I do that actually with stuff, but I still got that in the back of my mind. It's just like, fuck this shit. Just like, if you don't succeed, fuck it. I hate that. I want to talk to that person since I can't talk to myself. I want to tell them that life is too short. something that couldn't be told to me, only shown. I want to do it without pity. You know, so many times people say that, isn't it? It's just like, life's too short for this and that. Just like, yeah, maybe, but, you know, life is all we have, and it can be quite long as well. Especially nowadays, you know. Nowadays, people can live up till, like, their 80s or 90s. It also makes me think about, like, immortality. I mean, who the fuck would want to live forever? It's just like, not only does it take, like, all that out of life, because, well, you wouldn't die, essentially, but also, sooner or later, you're going to be like, ah, fuck, I hate living so much, I've lived like 500 years or something, and I'm sick of it, I hate this fucking life. It would suck, wouldn't it? If I had been pitied, I'm sure that I'd have only died a little more. When I think about that first week, I still think about how well it went. So well that it could only be called a result of kindness. I feel like I want to show others the same kindness. And I also want to keep chasing Shizune. What did the new student council want, Chi-chan? It's hard to daydream when you have to deal with Lisa's voice. I didn't know that they had someone who knew sign language. They don't. I think it was most likely just a goodbye, so I appreciate it, even though I couldn't tell them. How did you know I was here? Is it supposed to be a secret? Anyway, we just asked Yuko. Did she take a picture of you too? Yes, without asking me first. Since Yuko doing anything spur of the moment is rare though, I'll let it go. She snaps her fingers more because I think she likes it than out of realization of an idea. We should take a photo of the three of us. Yeah, I was kind of expecting that after the whole, you know, Yuko having the camera thing. We haven't taken a student council photo yet. Now's the perfect chance. But I have to look at this picture a year from now. I don't want it staring back at me. What does that mean, Shi-chan? Pictures are supposed to capture the moment, isn't that right? Round it out, they're not portraits. Just standing around would be so stiff. It wouldn't even capture how I feel. I feel like we'll meet again, so this isn't an occasion to take such a serious photo. It should be a see you later type of photo. Not a big deal. It should be something more festive. Oh boy. Like this, follow me. She posed like a musketeer so quickly that I'm sure even she knows it's silly. Ha ha ha! Do we really have to do such a cheesy pose? I can think of no better pose. Misha, go find Yuko. I don't like this pose either, but I think it's kinda nice. That doesn't even make sense. She's already gone and returns, dragging Yuko behind her. And flashes off a red LED blinks more 3 times above it after Yuko's fingers press the button. Shizune glances at both of us to make sure we have the timing down. Synchronized watches, we jump! I bet that turned out excellently. Okay. Now let's get one with Yuko too! No, please. That's not necessary. I want a copy of this photo too. Look at his face. I'll likely die younger than the average person. My life could unexpectedly burn out at any time. I don't have any time to waste then. I want to live as much as possible. I also want to see other people smile from what I have done and what I've made and done. He says that, but you never know, man. He could live to old age as well. Living vicariously for the happiness of others doesn't seem so bad. To enjoy through another person's happiness doesn't seem like such a bad idea. It's the easiest way I can think of to draw out my own life and give it distinction. Maybe this is the meaning that Shizune has found for herself. Though it's just my theory, people find themselves alone often in their lives and without direction. However, people can take refuge in moments of happiness. They can dot a person's life like stops on a train map or waypoints of memory on a long trail. These individual moments on reflection can give a person's life fulfillment. Every friend and festival and joyful meeting and joyful parting. I want to be able to ask Shizune one day if I'm right. I want to spend the time I have with her. Finally, I want to make Shizune smile for herself. I love you. I was wondering if she'll look at me confused and say why I'd say it out of the blue. She doesn't. Do they do that reunion thing here? Of course they do. A student council member should know that. Sooner than that, though, okay? Both of you. Right. Yeah. Yuko, you do the pose too. Afterwards, we can go for tea. Shizune laughs as if she doesn't have a care in the world. Misha's laugh joining with hers as easily as if it were her own. We'll meet again. Well, I imagine... Well, actually what... I mean, it's kind of left up to players' imagination, I guess, for what happens after that. I mean, where does Hisao go from there? Does he stay in the general area? Does he still date Shizune? I mean, it never really implies that the relationship just suddenly ends, does it? Man, she looked totally different than that, didn't she? Wait, is that her? Yeah, looks totally different. I guess that must have been the old design for the uniform. That face has more of a kind of tomboyish look to it with that hair. Different hairstyles. And then the completed design. Didn't show concept art for Misha though. Did she always have the drills in mind? Fully Studios! Oh, that's another thing, isn't it? It's just like, I want to potentially make a visual novel of my own someday. That's one other kind of goal. It's just I can't frickin' be arsed writing this story all the time. I just have to be in the right mood to start writing. And even when I finish it, I have no idea how to freaking start on it. It's like, well, will I put together like a team of people to put it all together? I'm crap at freaking like doing stuff like that. So that's my freaking, yeah. I've rambled quite a bit about stuff like that in this part, haven't I? It's like, oh yeah, here's like a bit of insight into a like pessimistic side of me that I don't tend to show in my videos. Actually, I don't really show my pessimistic side in general. It's mostly just keep it to myself. Which is probably what makes it even more pessimistic, because then it leeches off the pessimism and creates more. Well, really, if I like just like went up to people and just like, okay, here's my pessimistic side, I'm going to like spew all this pessimism out right to you and you will respond to that. I don't know if that would help at all, or just be like, oh man, now you make me feel pessimistic. It's like, you know what, like when you said about like the universe and all that, fuck man, you're right, life has no meaning. I feel so lost and confused and jaded. Well, maybe not jaded, that's not the word I'm looking for, but I am so lost in this world. How could this be? How could I not have realized this? And then I'd be like, that's because you're busy yourselves with other things so that you don't have to think about it. It's like, my god! Life is just a distraction to keep away from the fact that there is no meaning. And that death is the only... No! You know, really pessimistic and cynical. But anyways, another route cleared. Actually, let's have a look-see here. I think that might complete the last... no. Actually, what does it say about these? Wait, wasn't that... activities? Wasn't that also the same scene where they got it on? Gallery. I imagine it'll probably have a freaking scenes on page 9, but let me check. Yep, it did, but that last CG at the end of Shizune's route is apparently the last one. Well, it's not the last one. I mean, look at that. That one's missing, that one's missing. Most of Lily's ones are missing, and that's because we haven't gone through a route yet. But when we do, we'll have all the CGs and all the movie things and library and all that completed. And also we'll have Lily's ones appear here as well. So anyways, that was Shizune's route. It was better than I expected, to be honestly. I didn't really have much expectations for it. It was an alright route. I still don't understand this. Well, actually... Now, she did talk about her past and all that a bit, but still just seems like a random one. I don't know. Maybe it's just kind of like, I don't know. Whatever. So, next part, we don't even need to do the wheel thing, if you can even call it that, because now there's only one route left to do. Lily's route. And, you know, saving the best for last, because I've heard good things about it. It'd be funny if it ends up being, like, not as good as some of the other routes of this, but what the fuck, man? But I doubt that. But I haven't actually played Lilly's route, so it'll be new to me. So, I shall see you next time for that, viewers. See you next time.